All right, so I mentioned that the Chiefs players swept these awards. We got a real treat for you coming up here now. The AFC Defensive Player of the Year. He's right over there. You're going to hear from him up here on this stage. Without further ado, a little more on Chris Jones.
Listen, Chris Jones, most dominant interior pass rusher in all of football. I mean, it's not even debatable, right, after the season that he had. Number one in quarterback pressures among interior defensive linemen. 15.5 sacks, third in the NFL. Double-teamed constantly, yet still puts up those numbers. I don't think you understand how difficult that is and how he frees up other guys on that defensive line to make plays because of the attention that he gets. And in the AFC title game, where I think there was like some jawing going back and forth between the Bengals and the Chiefs, I think, something about Burrowhead. Chris Jones exploded the game. 10 pressures, 2 sacks. Joe Burrow talked about it afterwards. A dominant performance to get the Chiefs to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, at that point we were like, should we name it Jones Head?
Oh, I see what you did there.
That's for you. All right, here's our AFC Defensive Player of the Year. Let's revisit his great season.
Chris Jones continues his amazing season.
Finalist for Defensive Player of the Year, best season of his career.
Some games just mean more. Some games just mean more.
Herbert is sacked. Chris Jones makes a huge play. And the Chiefs will sack Willis back at the 8-yard line.
Stidham gonna be swallowed up and taken down.
And before Bryce Perkins had a chance to even find the toothbrush, Chris Jones was there to take all the toothpaste.
That's Chris Jones after him. Chris Jones got him. When you need your best players to step up, none better.
Ladies and gentlemen, along with presenter Joe Cullen, let's give a Chiefs Kingdom welcome to the AFC Defensive Player of the Year, Chris Jones.
Good, Chris. Thank you for asking. Are you guys done partying yet?
We're done. We're done, Coach. I promise. We're done.
I love it.
Is everybody done?
Yeah,
Oh,
I agree.
that's good.
I think. I don't know.
Yeah,
Coach,
has
we're
there
done.
been like a consultation about that, a group text, like are we all really done or, yeah?
We all text each other and said, it's over with, guys. Coach Reed, let us focus on the season.
Next year's Super Bowl, exactly,
Correct.
we got it.
Joe, I want to go back to a conversation you and I had earlier this season about Chris and about, I think you would be the person, as opposed to Laura and I, to describe him as a football player. And I think you kind of did it very eloquently to me in terms of the way Chris is built and the way he moves is not normal.
Exactly right. Chris has things that I can't coach. The one thing about Chris, he's determined to be the best that he can be in his trade. And I'll tell you, this is my first year, and the thing that stands out about Chris, Coach Reed has probably the toughest training camp. He goes through a period where he extends the plays of the starters, and he looked at me and he says, I don't want him coming out. I'm like, I got you, Coach. So the last day, there was a 16-play drive with pads. It was close to 100 degrees in St. Joe's. And what Chris did in those 16 plays, not just to get through it, but he dominated about 14 of them, made the play. And I looked at Frank Clark and I said, I think we got something special this year.
Did you like that drive in 100-degree heat, Chris?
Not at all. It's all Coach Reed.
But you know what? Those are the things that build championship teams, and you're a big piece of that and that effort. It feels to me like something's ignited in you when you get challenged in any way. Am I right there?
You're definitely right. I agree with you.
Tell me more about that.
I think adversity builds character. I'm huge on, I take my losses as lessons. 2 years ago, the Joe Burrow experience, I realized that it was a lesson. It was a full 360 for me because I actually missed 2 sacks. And this year come around to it, we actually get to play those guys again. So I look at things as a full circle. It's a lot of lessons to be learned. I don't have the perfect thing to say like Jalen Hurts. Oh my God, that guy has the words to say.
Right?
Know how to put it together. He's very articulate.
He's raising my child.
He's amazing. Yeah. He's something serious.
Yeah. Listen, you mentioned Joe Burrow. He had some remarkable words to say about you after that loss in the AFC Championship game, where he said you have such an understanding of how teams want to try and block you, the mental side of playing the defensive line. Can you describe your approach mentally, because Joe broke down pretty good, Joe, by the way, how you do it physically, the mental side of your approach?
I give it to my coaches. It's hard. It's definitely hard. It's challenging at times. It's about being patient. Coach Spags, he does a tremendous job in moving me around, putting me in position to win. Coach Joe, he do a remarkable job at film studying, putting in the after hours to give me sufficient matchups that I can win. For me, it's about being patient. I personally want to go and make every tackle, make every sack during the game, but with the understanding that I'm being game planned, I have to be patient and wait the right time.
Joe, one time Chris told us that he's not a big trash talker on the field. Is that true?
I will say this about Chris, that he can back up anything that he says. And for the most part, he lets his play do his talking.
I agree. But you do talk sometimes, right? Like, especially lately, I feel like in the postseason, you had to have. There were too many opportunities.
I agree with you. We got Frank Clark. I mean, when you have players like Frank Clark on your team, I mean, you got to say something every now and then, you know?
Yeah. Do you remember me and you post-game, AFC Championship game? You grabbed our camera, stared down in it. What did you say?
That was after the game, though.
I know, but you were still jacked. That was seconds after the game.
Yeah, you know, with the disrespect of, hopefully I say this right, GEHA.
Yeah.
You know, with the disrespect of the stadium and the tradition of Arrowhead, I had to speak.
Yeah.
I had to voice my opinion.
Exactly. And you dropped the wrestling celebration.
You know what I mean?
So we've talked a lot about how cerebral you are with your play, and we know that you're so dominant. You have these traits that can't be taught, but you get double teamed all the time, and you seem to still find a way to make plays. I think we're going to see one here that's unbelievable. What do you kind of do in those moments, or how would you describe dealing with a double team and still coming up with a huge play like you're seeing on the screen?
Actually, I look forward to the double team. I look at it as a challenge. If they don't send 2 at me, I feel like I'm being disrespected. So me and Joe, early in the week, we kind of game plan like we know we're going to get double the whole game. This is how we going to counter-react. And if I'm not getting double, I'm upset.
Yeah.
Probably me and Joe having a few words on the sideline. And, you know, that's part of it.
Like, are they watching the film? Are they fine?
Depend on what's going on in the game.
Joe told me that you once were kind of brought up, I don't want to say this, but I'm saying it, to Reggie White. And you laughed. And now you laugh again.
Respectably. Reggie White has done things that this game would probably never see again.
Sure.
I truly respect the opinions of others to compare me to Reggie White, but respectfully speaking for me, I don't think there can never be another Reggie White. So I'm okay with being Chris Jones.
Yeah.
Love it. Love it. That's a Jalen comment.
Hey, I took that from Jalen.
Yeah.
That's a Jalen
I
comment.
did.
Yeah.
I don't know if that one's already trademarked, but if not, you should get on it.
Listen, I like it.
Put it on a shirt.
I like it. All right now.
Joe, what's your favorite thing about Chris, like off the field?
I'll say this about Chris: as great a football player is, he's a better man. He really cares about his teammates, and he's got a great heart.
So warm and fuzzy.
Listen, I heard an awe from the crowd. End on that. Wrap it up.
Oh, thank you guys so much, and congratulations once again. Huge round of applause for Chris Jones, your AFC Defensive Player of the Year. And thanks to Joe Cullen for being with us up here. Congrats.